Hey guys, what is going on? This is Pantsar Dragon, and today we'll be doing a video on the top 5 best AD carries for patch 6.16. And it's been a very long time, as the last time we did this tier list was in patch 6.11. So I think it's time for an update. Also, just like the last tier list, this tier list will be based on my personal opinion and what I think is strong based on, whatever I see being played in my ranked games, a general idea of win rates, and yeah, that's about it. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. So first up, we have the one and only Lucian, the champion who's voiced by a white guy. So ever since his nerfs in patch 6.11, he was like an okay champion to me, but of course before that he was an OP, and now currently he's he's still pretty good in the right hands. Like if you're not comfortable with AD carry, you shouldn't be playing Lucian, but if you're an AD carry main, then go for it. Lucian is a champion who is not that strong when he's behind, but when he's ahead or going even, he can definitely have an impact on the game. Especially with his armor penetration black cleaver build. Ooh, that was kind of a mouthful. But yeah, his full hard-on armor penetration build makes him really strong, especially where we're in a meta where apparently armor penetration on AD carries is the way to go. Anyways, here's the recommended build for him. Next up is gonna be Sivir. So Sivir is a champion who, has not got nerfed yet ever since her W had been given the ability to crit. And that's what actually made her super strong. I mean, AoE crits, that's a mouthful, plus she's also got utility coming from her R. And with her W having the ability to crit, her late game potential has increased by a lot. But yeah, when behind she still has her ultimate, when ahead she does a fuck ton of damage, and also is actually really hard to kill. If you're a bruiser, you'll never touch her because she has movement speed, and if you're an assassin, she has her spell shield. Anyways, here's the recommended build for her. You don't have to go Phantom Dancer, you can go Static Shiv. Anyways, next up is going to be an up and coming champion who kind of already is, but it's going to be KogMaw. So the reason KogMaw is coming back into the meta is because Wit's End got cheaper. Also, the Rage Blade on champions was a thing in the little mage update, but on KogMaw it doesn't work the way as intended. When you use your W, it only works every 4th hit. It doesn't say anywhere where it does that, but trust me, if you go in a custom game and test it, it's every 4th hit. But just because of Wit's End's price going down, KogMaw comes back into the meta and also makes him good against champions who do magic damage. So I'd say it's a really good pick against that kind of comp, but against a lot of AD, you're better off picking something else. Anyways, here's a recommended build for him. Or her. Maybe it's genderless. Who knows, don't assume it's gender. You fucking inconsiderate assholes. Shame on you guys. Next up is a female AD carry called Ashe. So this champion is definitely a female and one of my favorite champions. Why is she my favorite champion? Because she is so easy to use. Press R, stay in the back, press W, press Q when it's available, farm the lane, and you're good to go. Why is she so good? Don't ask me. Actually, that's why you're watching this video. So basically, utility coming from R and her passive, having like AoE damage with her W, plus having a great ass late game with her Q, makes her a fantastic AD carry. Anyways, here's a recommended build for her. If you're feeling a little less carry and more utility, go Essence Reaver. And now coming at number 1 is gonna be a dominant male AD carry called Jhin. So this AD carry is pretty hilarious. I mean, he was supposed to be a champion who built attack speed and crit, but apparently the modifiers suck so much that he relies on his base damage and just builds a fuck ton of armor penetration, which is really interesting to me, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, he's basically an AD carry spellcaster. So yeah, it's good, but I don't think that's the way he's supposed to be built. Well, according to Riot, but his meta armor penetration build is super strong. And also, in this meta of no tanks, it is very effective. Now, you guys are probably wondering why don't I play Jhin instead of Ashe? Well, that's because he's too hard to play. But before you say he's too hard to play, let's just say he's too hard to play if you're not an AD carry main and facing against other master or challenger players. Anyways, here's the recommended build for him. Bunch of armor penetration and crit at the end. Or, maybe it's a little bit earlier, or the build can vary. I'm not 100% sure on how the build should go, but I just know there's a bunch of armor penetration in it. Next up, we're going to be talking about some honorable mentions, and first up is going to be Ezreal. So Ezreal is a champion who I think sucks. I think he's decent if you don't play AD carry, but let's say you main AD carry. Why are you playing this safe ass champion when you can play Ashe or Jhin or something that's really impactful? I understand people who play him and don't main the AD carry role, but for people who do, why not just play Jhin or Ashe or something like Sivir? Even then, this champion, I mean, there's better champions than him, but I see a lot of people still play him. Anyways, here's a recommended build for him. Next up is going to be Caitlyn. I like her. Kind of. She's good for like sieging and not sieging. I mean, she just puts her traps down and you can't siege. Just makes a protective wall where no one can pass. And she becomes pretty good in the late game and mid game. Not really too sure about her early game, but I don't know. She just starts to do a lot of damage later in the game. Plus her traps are really good utility. She's not as played as much as before though, because we have people like Jhin. But anyways, here's a recommended build for her, or him. Alrighty, so let's play the game where we answer some of you guys' questions from the patch 6.11 AD carry tier list video. Alright, so Matthew McConaughey asks, I think Genji is the most OP AD carry right now. He's got gap closers, the mobility, the damage, you name it, he's got it. So when I screenshotted that comment, I actually thought it was a question, but while I saw it while editing this video, it was not a question. Next up, Kofi Biney asks, what about Tristana, ... she's fun. I think she sucks, because there's better champions right now. If she receives some buffs, then maybe you'll see her back into the meta. Maybe if they made her ultimate do physical damage, she could go the armor penetration build, but she's just too weak at the moment. Next up, BioCase asks, is Varus a better mid laner or AD carry? The answer to that is mid laner. Anyways, that is the end of the questions, and thank you for playing this question game. That was really fun, and I hope to do it in the next video, but you have to comment below on whatever questions you have for the AD carry role. So if you want, you can comment below on whatever you want for the AD carry role, and I might feature it in the next video. Anyways, if you guys did like this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you didn't, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I am Panzer Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.